Hello everyone, it's Jackie and I'm back with some journals finally. I'm going to share two journals today in two separate videos, a writing journal and a more eclectic to look at journal. So we'll start with this one. This one is a design team project. It's for chapter 1 papers. I don't tend to use a lot of kits, but I was lucky enough to purchase a chapter 1 inspiration box a few weeks ago now, and I did share the journal that I'd made with that on here. I've seen chapter 1 papers used by Carol and Angela over here in the UK, and they are gorgeous papers. I already owned one set and was very flattered really to be asked to be on their design team list. I don't know what you call it to do a design team project anyway, and I chose the Shabby Florals kit to use. I don't do a whole lot of design team work these days. I have done some in the past. This is a very light commitment. I can't take a lot of commitment at the moment. There's a lot going on in my life. The light might not be great. I usually try and do these videos in the mornings because the light is better up here. It's afternoon now because the morning has passed me by with live stuff. Not all of it great, but you know, it's okay. So I'll share this with you first, as I say. Sorry for all the chatter. This is a writing journal, so it's fairly plain. Beautiful papers. It measures 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. The spine is 2 inches. It's got 5 signatures, and I think there are 160 sides in this one. It's paper over chipboard. Now the paper on the cover is not from chapter 1. I had some scrapbook paper that matched beautifully, so I decided to use that. So it's chipboard front and back. There's a chipboard spine you can see here, and I've joined it together with fabric canvas, and I've tied it with a bit of chiffon ribbon. This is a little name tag that can come out. I've just popped some of the chapter 1, one of the images from the chapter 1 papers on there. You can see that it lies flat, doesn't actually need a tie. So if I show you through it, I'll probably put a thing at the beginning to say when this starts because I've gone on a lot. So it's a very simple construction. The inside, this inside cover paper is from chapter 1, as are all the papers on the outside of the signatures, and I've used various bits from the ephemera here and there. So on this front one, I've just got one of their flip outs with pockets. It's put together with a magnet, and I've just popped some genuine vintage photographs in here. So I'm thinking this is a mom. This might be Lynette with her children, her oldest son and the 2 younger ones. So we could make up a story about those if we wanted to. I quite like to do that when I'm journaling. So that's that one. And then as we go through, you can see these gorgeous colours. This is pinks and greens and greys mainly, with hydrangeas and roses and a few butterflies. And I've printed on both sides of the paper. I've used tea stain paper, bits of stitching. This is very typical Jackie journal. Some vintage ledger paper. This is from a Observer book of wildflowers, and I've used some washi tape to reinforce that. Some pink lace on some of the pages that's stitched down. I've got at least 1 pocket in each signature. I think I've got 2 pockets in each signature. It's a little while since I made this. And in the pockets we've got vintage magazine page, and this is from a vintage cigarette card catalogue. And this pocket is cut down from one of the papers in the kit, and there's some lace on here. I've used stenciling as I usually do. This is from a Victorian flower album, a botanical book. The signatures are knotted in, but I've left the strings long and tied them in a bow, so you can either cut those off, leave a little bit if you decide to do that. We've got a clipped in element in each signature. This is a set of 3 tags. So I've got a computer card, vintage computer card, and then I've used some of the kit paper and images for this tag. And this is a tag cut from the kit, which I've just topped with a bit of lace and handmade paper. So that's on there. And on the back of each of those, I've included one of the other tags from the kit, the smaller ones. And they're just backed with card. Each of those is backed with card. This is one of the pages that I printed onto tracing paper. I've just cut it in half, stitched round and glued it to that, so you could write over that with a decent pen. In this pocket I've got, this is from a magazine. Now what's the date on this? Oh, I can't remember, it's very old. I bought some magazines, 1949, so I think it's from the 1950s. I bought some magazines from Lynette's shop. I'll try and remember to put a link underneath. So that's that, and this is a little vintage playing card, and there's a little snippet here, just paper flower, an old button, and a little bit of whatever that is, fabric of some sort, and obviously these pockets are from the kit. Is the next chapter 1. I've backed this time with one of their tea-dyed digitals. That's actually from, yes, it is from this kit, from the Shabby Florals kit. This is some of the chiffon ribbon that I've just ruched, stitched on. This is some vintage ledger, and in there I've got a library card and one of the journal cards from the kit, just backed onto tea-dyed paper. There. This tag is, this is from the kit, as is the backing paper. This piece is from the scrapbook paper that I covered the journal with. This page is from a vintage sewing book. And this is one of the little tags. And the centre of this signature is an Edith Holden page. I've got a lace pocket here with a little dangle. These again are images from chapter 1, but in the pocket I've got an 1899 letter. This is an original from the Euston Hotel in London, and a vintage postcard which is dated February 17, 1917. So that should slot up into there. In this pocket I've got another couple of images from the cigarette card, and this is a first day cover from, still got the price on, I didn't pay that for it, from 1956. This, I absolutely adored that image. I love a bit of architecture, and architecture and florals is lovely. This tag is some of the paper covered with lace, one of the images, and a couple of little shell pearl buttons there. Oops, just want that not to catch. There we go. You can see I've used different colours of sari silk on the tags. This is from an old typing book. This is a hand paper envelope. This is not the easiest way to use an envelope. I could have cut this down to make it more of a usable pocket, but I decided not to. I thought it just looked nice. So I've just popped in there a little folded facsimile. So that's not an original document, that's a printout, a digital really. that just pops in there, so that's quite good for secret messages. This is the centre of that middle signature. This is the other side, or the flap, from the handmade envelope. And then I've got another of those pages from the embroidery book, or half pages. 1907 that one is, that's half a page. It's quite fragile, but would be great for you to use in collages, that type of thing. And I popped a little wren in there. And then the next signature, we've got some foxgloves. I think these colours are just great. I love soft pinks. A bit more of that tracing paper. This is from an old pottery book. Another tag that I've just dressed up a bit. A little bit of collage on there, some lace at the bottom, one of the images. Edith Holden again in the middle of that one. And then in this pocket I've added another dangle, and in here we've got another vintage magazine page and a photograph, which I think this is Lynette's husband, maybe, out with his friends, and maybe his father. Looks like they're having a good time. Who knows? And the last signature, another beautiful page. This one is backed with a faded rose print. I think I might have printed that upside down, to be perfectly truthful, but I don't think it really matters. In this pocket I've got another receipt from the 1940s and another vintage postcard, which is from 1904. And I realised at this point I hadn't got a flower fairy, and you can't really have one of my journals without a flower fairy, so that's the flower fairy tag. Centre of the last signature. This is a pocket from the kit that I've folded, but I printed it on tracing paper and folded it so that we've got two, folded it, but then I've stuck it down so that we've got two pockets with a couple of the journal cards, so one at the back and one in the front. That's like so. And on the back I've got a little pocket here that I've just dressed up again with one of these fabric flowers. So that's Lynette, we'll call her, and she will be for sale in my Etsy shop. Thank you.